aircraft printing. This was my first stop in my field trip of going to a printer and what it's like and going through the process. So I'll see you inside. Bye.
All right. Binding methods?
Binding methods.
Yeah. Internally, we do saddle stitching, but we also we still do a lot of booklets that go out to Nichols Graphics and Spencer that are perfect band.
Perfect band.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the majority of the things that go out of here that that have bindery operations are saddle stitched.
Most of them are. Okay. The next question is, what type of special varnishing techniques do you use?
We have an aqueous coater on our biggest press that does aqueous coating.
Aqueous, what does that mean, water?
It is a water-based product that it puts like a, in layman terms, just like a varnish over the sheet, and what it does, it's heat activated. There's dryers in the end of the press. The last unit on the press puts that coating on the sheet. It goes through the dryers, which almost looks like a pizza oven, and it cures that. And when it comes out of the end of the press, it's dry and ready to, you can put your hand on it.
Oh,
so anytime we do any type of, we put it over on that particular machine, and it does the coating.
Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. Do you do any embossing or debossing here?
We usually send that out to Nichols Graphics and Spencer. I have a letterpress that's capable of doing that. Occasionally, we do it. We do a job that we'll do embossing and things here, but most of the time I send it out to a specialty house.
I know there's a process that they call thermographic, and that's kind of similar to the embossing process, and but you don't have that here.
We don't
do that. Okay. What type of die cuts? Can you explain how that's done?
Basically, you have in some instances you have two dies that come together that will cut something. Sometimes there's just one die and the platinum of the press that is doing the operation. Basically, with the letter press that we have, it goes like this, and the paper comes into the platinum like this, and then the die comes in, and it basically just punches out a piece of the paper, or the design that you're doing out of that paper, and then it goes and puts it in a delivery tray each time, and we have a.
So it's like cutting a shape, cutting a shape out.
Looks just like looks like a cookie cutter, a typical cookie cutter in your kitchen.
Okay, that's great. Okay, what direct do you use? Tell me how either direct to plate process is done. Do you do that here, or do you do
direct to plate? We have we go from the from Adobe PageMaker or whatever the program we're using from. It goes into what's called a RIP that makes a 1-bit TIFF is what it's a TIFF file, and that TIFF file is imaged on a plate in a machine that does the direct to plate information.
Okay.
You send it to the plate maker. With our process, you manually feed a printing plate into the machine. It takes it into the machine, it images it, spits it back out. We put it through a processor that takes basically you have an emulsion on that plate, and what's happening inside of that machine is it images, basically with a laser, it images the areas that are going to be on the plate, and then it doesn't image the other areas. And then whenever you put it through the processor, it takes away the areas that weren't imaged, and it leaves the part that was etched in with the laser. So that's what makes the images on the plate. And then whenever it comes through that processor, you take it right downstairs and put it on the press.
Okay, great.
So it's a direct to plate method.
Okay. Since you mentioned something like PageMaker, do you handle other programs as well if they were created in Quark?
We do anything Quark, Microsoft Office.
What about InDesign?
InDesign, basically any platform that you can pull a PDF out of.
A PDF. So it's best to take PDF files.
PDF is the
and
king of the industry.
King of the industry, great. Okay. Can you explain to me digital versus conventional printing?
Digital print is, of course, like a copier.
Okay.
You don't use plates, or you basically take a digital file. You send it to a digital press. It will do, each sheet that comes out of that can have different information on it. Where with a conventional press, you put the plates on the press, and every single sheet that comes out is exactly the same thing. So digital printing is basically like send it to your copier, and you can get one of each thing. Where with a conventional, you've got one image that you're creating each time that you're putting the plate on the press and printing it.
Yeah, and so you like digital better, right?
Well, we do just about everything we do is conventional down in the press room, and then we also have a digital copier in our prepress department that we do small jobs. If you need 1,000 rack cards that are only 4 inches by 9 inches, we can put 6 of those on a sheet and put it over on the digital machine and run it out more efficiently than we can make 4 metal plates and send it down to the press and print it on the press. But on the same hand, you can't. If we need 100,000 of those, it's not feasible to run it through the little device. When that's where the conventional press, there's with usually 1,000 brochures or more, we do them conventionally. 1,000 or less, we do them digitally.
That's right.
Because it's more economical one way. One's more economical than the other at that particular quantity.
That's really wonderful. You know what? That's the end of the questions. Aren't you glad?
Anytime, I'm a graduate from West Virginia Tech. Those guys roll in here once a year usually, and I'm actually having a advisory board meeting for the college here next Thursday. So I try to stay involved with and try to give people the gist of what we do, and because when you're in college, you don't know what goes on out in the real world,
right.
And so I try to give back as much as I can.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm just trying to learn the ropes myself.
And like I said, I'll be glad to. If you have any other questions, feel free to call me back.
Oh, that'd be great. I really appreciate it.
I think that contrary to what a lot of people say, I think the graphic industry has as bright a future as anything else out there. So
yeah, it's like it's something like I'd say about 10-15 years ago. It was graphic design jobs. Even the mention of graphic design wasn't really that much in the streamline, things. But now it's just like there it is.
There it is. And so I think that, like I said, I think the future's bright.
Yeah, it is. I hope so.
Yep.
That's what I'm working at.
For sure.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I've always tried to be available and explain things, and any help as much help as I can be to try to give back. I
That's
owe
great.
my success to getting started there, so I never forget that.
Yeah, you do. Really.
So, like I said, if you have any questions, just please feel free to call me back, and I hope things go well with your paper.
Will do. Can I take a look at your printer from here?
Sure.
Yeah, I did.
Sure.
Okay.
And,